Hi everyone, this is going to be an overview of the Kizer Doberman. So we have a liner lock here with beautifully machined sculptured G10 handles. The blade steel is 154 cm. The thickness behind the edge is 13 thousandths, so it's ground quite thin behind the edge. And we have a blade length of 3.7 inches measured from the tip of the blade to the frontmost portion of the handle scale. So we have both a thumb stud and a flipper tab, and the action is dialed in well for both deployment methods. The pocket clip is milled titanium, and it is actually the only titanium part on the knife. The rest of the metal parts are steel. The pocket clip is actually reversible through an ingenious mechanism, but we will talk about that more because actually there's a big problem with it. The knife weighs 4.45 ounces, which is a little bit heavier than I would like, and also the balance is rather butt heavy. The balance point is right about there. I wish it was moved forward like 1/4 of an inch to right about there where my index finger is. There's no skeletonization inside the knife, and it's actually heavier than every Civivi budget knife of comparable blade length. Here's the knife mostly disassembled. All the fasteners use T8 heads. This is a M3.5 pivot screw, same identical pivot screw on the other side, and also the pocket clip screw is an M3.5. But like I said, they all use Torx T8 heads. And also these two fasteners here that hold the liner to the backspacer are also T8, though they are M2.5 screws. So we have some milling, internal milling on the liners, but I would not call it skeletonization because the way the liner fits in there, it's either G10 or metal. There's no open airspace from the pockets that have been milled out. So that's why the knife is heavier than one might expect. The functionality of the pocket clip is very poor in my opinion. First of all, it is way too stiff. It's maybe 2 or 3 times stiffer than it should be. And also, instead of having a nice broad nub, it has this rather pokey nub, which makes especially extraction of the knife from the pocket difficult. You can see instead of having a ramp on the back, it's like a 90-degree angle. The pocket clip features this triangular geometry at the base to make it reversible. However, if you look at it, you can see the angle of the triangle is misaligned with the long axis of the pocket clip. So when you go to mount the pocket clip on the left-hand scale, the orientation of the clip is kind of off. The height of the triangle is only 1 millimeter, and about 0.25 millimeters of that is a chamfer. So that means that there's only 1 millimeter of engagement of the triangle into the G10, which is not particularly comforting to me. I don't know if that will ever be an issue, but I could see someone brushing up against a stationary object and just damaging the G10 because there's only 1 millimeter of engagement of the triangle into the G10. There's 2 tubes pressed into the backspacer. The front one is threaded, and 2 screws affix the liners to the backspacer into that threaded tube. This construction strikes me as rather strange. I don't understand why they just didn't use a single fastener all the way through, affixing to a nut on the opposite side. There's other things about the construction that I find are strange, like each liner has a flat spot milled into the pivot hole. And the barrel spacer has flats milled on each side. I don't understand why they're on both sides and not just one side. Here's a view of the liner sitting in the scale. So like I said, there's no skeletonization. It's either metal or G10. There's no air pocket for weight reduction. Here's a look at the knife without the handle scales on. So what are my suggestions for the Kizer Doberman? The first one is to fix this clip. So like I said, it's way too stiff. The nub is inappropriately shaped for a pocket clip, and the orientation of the clip is wrong when mounted for left-hand carry. Another recommendation I have is to add some texture to these rather smooth G10 scales. Also, I would like to see some jimping under the choil portion of the blade to give you some feedback as to where your finger is on the handle. And as I mentioned, I would like to see the weight reduced and also the balance point moved forward a bit. Also, I think I would like to see a chamfer on this point here to make the knife more comfortable and natural to hold in a pinch grip like this. So these have been my impressions of the Kizer Doberman. I would like to thank you for watching. Have a great day.